Just formality, welcome formality for all of us. We got the partnership with Xoxoday. Xoxoday became our close partner, and if all of us remember, Xoxoday was the first one to start the webinar partnership in the COVID scenario, and that was the employee engagement, where we cover almost 20-25 countries, and there was the HR leader who came, and they share. Actually, that point of time, it was in month of April and May. They came and share on the platform that which kind of employee engagement activity they were doing. And believe me, Vayu, Dolphy, Kanu, and Nitin, today most of our HR friend reaching out to us, okay, or we are reaching out to some of our HR friend and telling them, guys, virtual engagement is done, whatever was available with us. Now give us some more idea how we can actually virtually engage. Because we are exhausted with the ideas, huh? Correct? That's happening, okay, we have done all the family meeting, we have done coffee meeting, we have done, some painting, song, discussion, those are done now. Give us some new idea. So that's good thought process actually, which never happen in office. What we supposed to do it every Friday, we continue doing every Friday. Great. We have Abhishek join. Hey Abhishek.
Yeah, Ashish, hi. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all the participants.
Abhishek. Yeah. So
great to see all of you again.
Yes, all of us again. Yeah. Okay, I'm just make me moderator. Okay, fine. You are there. Yeah, because our moderator of Nigeria session just pinged me. What is the time when this session is? Yeah. So I said just now, it's difficult to sometime guess, India timing is what time is for their time zone and all. So she's joining anyway. Okay, great. So guys, it's just casual conversation, and thanks for your time to take the effort to be moderator, bringing everyone together, at least for those 1 hour, making session very interactive, getting a lot of knowledge from our CHROs and all. So you must have a lot of things to share. Okay. As I said, there is no format. It's just like open house discussion and all. So two things. One is, what learning you got it from them. Okay, you can compile those and share on this platform now. And what is your own views about the 2021 agendas and views? Agenda, mission, or goal, objective of HR, what you plan to do it, what you are thinking should be happening in 2021. So it's very open forum. Yeah. But before that, let me thank Abhishek from Xoxoday. Abhishek, we want to tell you, we want you to tell us what is Xoxoday in a very brief, so that those who are there right now, they get to know if they don't know, and then we'll continue our conversation. I know you had to leave also.
Yeah. So, thanks, Ashish. Thanks for it. So, just briefly, I'll introduce you about Xoxoday. So, Xoxoday is a rewards recognition and incentive solution company. What we do is we make SaaS products in the market, specifically for employee engagement, employee benefits, and incentives for the people, right? And all our products are cloud-based basically, and we have like markets in India, US, Europe. So we have offices actually in US and Europe and India. So we are covering across 4 to 5 regions outside India globally. And so our main office is in Bangalore, and we have 4 co-founders. I'm one of them. Also passed from IIT Bombay and looking at tech at here. So that's sweet about, a very sweet and small journey on Xoxoday. I'll not take much time from you, all of you. But going further, and as all of us know, that 2020 has been a grilling year, and has also been a year for opportunities for a lot of people, for a lot of startups, right? And we have seen that, and we have seen how how companies have rebounced and how company has taken opportunities to reshape some of their processes, automate those things, because this has given enough time to them, and then get back to the new normal with more speed, with more power, right? So we have been seeing that people making and in the industry also, people making equal or better revenues compared to vis-a-vis the same month last year, right? Because of course the processes, a lot of things have been digitized, and the same goes true for HR stuffs and HR things. What we have seen is more and more people and more flexibility given to employees on that front, right? Where a lot of things have been automated, and lot of people have actually adopted process where the process, where the documentation, where a lot of things. And I myself, I believe I come from a background where I'm building gamification product. So I have introduced gamification in HR, where how do you reward or recognize people for doing certain small activities and fulfill your ideas, right? Specifically, this becomes challenging stuff when you have to do an onboarding kind of stuff for a new joinee, or you have to take or you have to look into the journey of a person this way, in this era, right? How do you keep guys engaged? How do you keep the employees engaged to your process, to your culture, to your engagement stuff, right? So we have done some good stuff, and we have launched some of the HR related, engagement related, remote services, right? Which actually help them collaborate and help them appreciate remotely and things like that also. So as we say, the home has become a new office for a person, right? So how the HR can get into that space and make them feel comfortable, as well as give them a a feeling of work versus personal time, right? Because when the office goes to home, your personal time gets killed, right? And there's a lot of tussle, because most managers feel that, hey, you are at home, you should be continuing at any point of time, right? In fact, at some point of time, I would have believed it myself with my team, saying that, hey, now that everyone is at one place, at your working out of home, why don't you do it any point of time in a day when you get your time, right? That actually kills the whole work life balance scenario, right? And that is why it becomes challenging. It becomes a whole new innovation stuff for HR to manage that stuff, right? Because the management of working from home is a lot different thing, right? While most people would say that I like it, most employee would say that, hey, I want to go back to office. Right? So there has to be a balance that has to be now maintained while you're working from home. The work from home culture has to be widely accepted by the organizations, and that innovative approaches, a digital approach, has to be brought in picture to make people or employee feel comfortable and work from anywhere and still be a part of the ecosystem and part of the culture of the company, right? And that becomes the foremost process, a foremost agenda for a HR in 2021, I guess. So over to you, Ashish. I think
Yeah,
taken
yeah,
more time than you gave me, but I just wanted to put my thought process forward.
yeah. Thanks, Abhishek. So let me ask you: did you cover what is the HR vision agenda of 2021 according to you, or you like to give more views?
Yeah, so I think one very important thing that I see at this point of time is, when you are working from working from home, then some of the things like emotions and data, they come at the privacy. For example, there's a lot of emotional value that is attached to an employee, and he feel alienated, right? So how are we handling those stuff? So we have consciously taken an approach of a data driven approach this year. So basically, you collect data based on a lot of events, incentivize based on a lot of things, and then you create your policies based on that, right? So that's our going further. So we are still working on a lot of processes and digitizing that, but one thing is pretty sure is that we're going to take a data driven approach from here forward.
Okay, okay. In the COVID, before COVID, uh, CHRO, HR leader used to be after CEO and business leader. Okay, please implement or give me the budget for HR,
Right,
HRIS, HRMS, SCM solution, give me the budget for LMS, give me the budget for employee engagement platform.
right.
So these are three platforms, where in this COVID, where CEO is coming back to CHR and saying, okay, I have
I
budget.
want this.
Can you show me the platform?
I agree. So earlier, even in Indian scenario, I can speak from that point because I have been a beneficiary of this idea for long, and so we have been working on this idea. So earlier, this particular idea of employee engagement and this thing had, far-fetched, and this was a secondary activity. Earlier, I mean, from a engaging them on a platform point of view, right? People used to do a lot of physical activities and in-person and group activities, team activities. Those were always there, right? But to take a data driven approach and to actually measure what do you say as NPS, right? Or net promoter score for employee, right? ENPS, right? That has come to the forefront of any CEO today, right? Because they are really worried about people's well-being. They're really worried about their stress level. They're really worried about their engaged atmosphere with the company, right? Now, to measure all these things and also to let them work remotely, right? That's a challenge, and that is where we actually are coming up with all the solution that we have actually developed, right? This not only covers your the white collar employees. This also is true, holds true for the gig workforce. Is also holds true for a lot of people on sales, people who are doing your Zoom calls, hangouts, right? Or they are on the field, right? Not to forget those people, right? So the challenge is how to bring all of them into one common umbrella and then provide them a solution, provide them a comfort zone as well, and then not to intrude into their personal life, right? So these are the things that we have worked on, and I think the solution what we have caught up with has been giving us a interesting aspect, interesting look into the entire ecosystem. I think the journey has been tremendous for us.
Correct. Thank you. Okay, I got Agni here. Fine. So guys, yeah, we have more panelists, more speaker join who are the moderator and anchor of the session. Thank you once again. All of them, you all can see they were the moderator and anchor of the session. This is new practices I have started, especially if session is happening where 20 session happening and moderator is actually moderating. But because see, moderator is also HR guy. Moderator is also knows many things. It's just because he or she play different role. It doesn't mean that we should not hear the moderator, right? Yeah. So guys, this is open platform, but let's have a first of all introduction of your. You need to introduce yourself. Designation, company, location, and when you conducted this session, if you remember who are the speaker in your panel, please share the name. And if you like to add anything, because this is just the opening kind of statement from your side, then we'll continue once everybody done with the introduction. So I repeat again, please introduce with your name, designation, company, location, country you are belonging to. And if you remember the panel name, who was the speaker, and anything which you like to share right now in a very brief from that session, please do that. So I want everybody to switch on the call so that all our audience can see, okay, see how you look like on. And then we have Manish, then Arpit. Arpit was there, I can see some time back. Okay, great. And those who are moderator and anchor of the session, please raise your hand in case, okay, Shrikant is joining now. Yes, so Shrikant is in panel now. Fine. So let me start with, yes, we go to international country first. Yeah, we'll start with Indonesia.
Okay. So, but Ovi first, Ovi.
Maybe Wahyu, you go ahead.
All right. Okay. Probably it's yes. My name is Wahyu. I'm from Asia Good Hope Asia Holding. And having a role together with Pak Dovi. I'm actually taking part of Chief Transformation Officer for this company. So just briefly looking back on the events, so my view is actually maybe a bit looking back timing wise, and topic is very, very good. I think it's very relevant. The sharing gives the key highlight to add of what has been thought before by the top HR leaders, which can be a confirmation of what has been planned, or can be an enrichment for the 2021 goals, priority, and as well as deliverables that we have thought already before. So I think it's quite valuable sessions. It felt that time not long enough, so it's sort of like, you know, suddenly actually they're running out of time. So we quite enjoying the time there, having a sharing and discussion there. So maybe like sharing briefly about the topic that we discussed. Basically, what are the top priorities that we have discussed? Three things actually. We have 6 speakers, and then all of them are in aggregate to come up with 3 things actually. So top priority for the organization 2021 is normalize the business with adjustment of what we are doing, because COVID impact everything and so on and so on, way of working, way of life and everything. So we need to do normalization on the business, and with innovative creative adjustment with minimal impact on hopefully no impact to the business, where actually it's not going down, but maybe like stabilizing or even maintaining there. So that one, think and do differently. We need to really think and do differently. And then this is, I think, very common for all. Do very best at the cost efficiency, because we can expect that things actually, majority of the business are going down. If we are actually flat or even like having a little profit, that's actually, we are lucky actually. So cost is actually the opportunity that we need to exercise to even more and more to do a cost efficiency in all level, in all functions. And also need to excel the manager's capability to manage people. This is taking more priority to understand the situation, understand the difficulties, maybe the boredom or the work from home and so on and so on. For those who get attacked with COVID, so how can we actually empathize and take care of them? So we need to really actually escalate or leverage the capability of managers to manage people. So that's one. And also secondly, actually going more to HR digital or IoT. With COVID, work from home and everything actually forces us that we have to do differently for the support function. Particularly for the field operation, it's fine, because somehow they need to run the machine, they need to go to the plantation, they need to do whatever they need to do at the field. But for the support functions that we actually can avoid to do face-to-face, then it's really actually we really need to write the digital or Internet of Things. So, and also manage the work remotely with actually maintaining the efficiency. So clear goal is very important. Output expected from the team is really also important. And then we encourage with a clear work plan. Then from there, we need to establish a platform there where we actually we review and measure regularly. The interval is up to us, maybe like weekly, maybe like daily. It's up to the nature of the business and the priority that we are in. And then, of course, we need to really make sure that the access of connectivity, Wi-Fi and everything actually need to be supported, so that actually everybody is excited to do the job, or even better, enthusiasm, because we now experience a new things which actually exciting. In Jakarta, for example, we have a traffic jam, super crazy sometimes. So going in and out the office, maybe like just the travel time, maybe can be like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. But with this, actually, it's an advantage. So with a smooth Wi-Fi and connectivity, people actually can be more productive because they have more energy, they have time to work actually. So that's another lesson that we are actually accelerating or leveraging to the situation. And the other one is actually need to really think that the key initiative to stay competitive and maintaining the growth, because the business is quite different landscape with a lot of things, disruptive startup plus COVID. So all of the things actually it's actually encourage or even force us to really actually keep thinking the initiative on how we stay competitive. So I think that's probably, I'm not taking long. Maybe like I can jump in before, jump in after this. But in brief, actually, then we conclude we need to do the basic better, the HR hygiene, the basic HR better than before. And then again, we need to do things with technology, IoT, new skills, new mindset and behaviors, and also enable people and organizations to achieve the desired business results with adapting the new situation. So I think that's a brief from our sharing session to all participants and Aziz that I can share.
Thanks, Vayu. So that was summarized very well. What you covered, which I wanted to do it in part 2. Yeah. So thanks for right. Yeah. But thanks. I will come back to you to get more point. So guys, in the first round, let's do the basic thing, which is name, designation, company, location, country you belong to. If you remember the name of your panelist, please do that, and just very quick in 1 or 2 lines your takeaway from that session. And then we'll do the part 2 where we'll have conversation on what's your views and what did you learn from the session. Okay, I will be in Indonesia right now. I go back to Dolphy now.
Okay, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Ashish, for inviting me as well as Indonesia to be on this, session. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dolphy Govies. I'm the one of the core coordinator for HR Shapers together with Ashish. So I think HR Shapers in Indonesia now, since 4 years, we have been actively ensuring international knowledge is brought into Indonesia and how best we can improve the HR fraternity and HR professionals. So we did a lot of physical sessions the way HR Shaper is doing in other countries, but since I think COVID came, so we had to go online. So I also work with Vayu for a plantation company called Good Hope Asia Holdings. Overall, we manage HR around 15,000 people. We had very good panelists from Unilever, Sinarmas Mining, Home Credit, Sun Life, as well as Kelly. So some of the speakers are well-known personalities in Indonesia, and we were honored to have them and get their knowledge. I think Vayu moderated the session very well. Of course, I was not the moderator, but I was as a coordinator, so I joined as. And for me, I think this last year, real importance of HR was felt. Although I always say at one of the famous personality in India said by 2020 HR will die. But I think 2020 HR was on the foremost. So COVID actually made HR more important. So we must say thank you to COVID than to anybody else, because it has to be always there that HR can be taken by anybody. HR can be taken by business heads. So people used to wonder, do we really need HR? But when COVID came, people didn't know where to run. So that there was HR like a mother always taking care of everybody. And that's where I think we were able to show our importance to the organization and also to the people that, yeah, we are there to support you when you need. I think that's it from my side. More things can be shared as we go ahead. Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah, so thanks, Dolphy. And Dolphy, yeah, if you are from Mumbai and if you are in HR circle, you may be knowing Dolphy is very close friend. Since last 15 years, we have been in touch. Dolphy was part of one of the Goa HR Shaper tour. That's a very close relation. And before I forget, I really like to thanks. Imagine a session happening in a hotel where you have 20 session going on in 20 rooms at the same time, and you're difficult to decide where to go, right? In spite of that, we got 1,000 people joining. I'm sure, they must be wondering which location they should join to hear, our HR people and all. So I think this was little bit attempt. Somebody asked me, okay, Ashish, I think this finale was successful. I said, guys, that was the pilot actually. I wanted to do much more bigger and bigger scale, which will probably will happen soon. So that was the pilot. I covered only 20 location. I wanted to do 40 location at a time on one topic, one date. And thanks to Xoxoday who supported, then thanks to technology partner, there were a lot of problem in the technology and all, but somehow, we were able to continue with the session and it did happen. And thanks to Provantis HR, RK, dear friend, he couldn't join, but his partner is there, Manu. I will come to Manu. Okay, so from Indonesia, I come back to India and I give it to the capital of India, Mr. Agnivesh Thakur. He has to leave. Agnivesh, keep it very short and brief. In case you want to join back, please join, but keep it very short at this moment so that I can cover everybody introduction. Yeah.
All right. So I'm Agni. I'm part of Accenture, and I was moderator for the Delhi session. And my co-panelists were, from people from PwC. We had people from Deloitte. We also had one CHRO from Modern Foods, and another was ex-CHRO and the CEO, CXO coach Raja. So these were our, and along with I don't see Abhishek. So Abhishek was one of my co-panelists along with Manu. Right. So these were my co-panelists, and we had a brilliant session. We spoke about how we are going to bring something in our system in which how we are looking at the future of work or future of Vision 2021, right? So first thing that we need to look at, as we rightly, as Sustio also said, that it's more like how we are continuing the business continuity and how we are making the resilient systems in terms of creating a lot of emotional immunity, because now we are not talking about big data, we are talking about how to harvest and prescribe to the emotional data that we are getting in, because this is more of the way we are trying to do in this pandemic situation. So apart from that, we also had a couple of things which discussed about the vision for the HR professional is more like having a critical talent in the organization, and also look at the capability consent, right? As in, it's not capability, right? Capability is fine, but you also need to look at that. How can you have the capability consent in terms of you coping with the crisis at any point of time? It's maybe today into tomorrow, right? So, and look at learning agility, your conceptual as well as contextual learning towards 2021. This is look out for that. So these were the basic discussion that we discussed in our Vision 2021. Yeah. Thanks, Ashish.
Yeah, thanks, Agni. You really kept it very short and you took it seriously. But okay, if you are there, please continue to be there, Agni. Otherwise, you come back. Okay, I like to hear more because Delhi had a good panel. PwC and all the big five. You were there, right? One of the things I did make this model so differently, where moderator were able to get the speaker in most of the location, so that they continue the frequency, they continue the conversation, they know people very well. So that's how it happened. And thanks to each one of you who brought the moderator, who brought the speaker. Those who couldn't, I know there were limitations because you may be busy with your work and all, but yes, our session did happen. Okay, I will go as per the screen. I can see on my screen Nitin is the first one. Nitin, over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ashish. My name is Nitin. I'm a global HR BP with the CSG, ex-Infoscion. And we had a wonderful session, and we had speakers from Tata Capital, Sudhanshu, and we had a Jovina Martha, as well as Subhendu, who is the CEO of a startup, and Nas from Xoxoday. I think we had our conversation were more towards on part of the what's the business priority. That's where CEO was as a part of our panel on a part of the what is the business priority and what's HR priority, how this can be combined together. We talked about employee experience considering the hybrid model, what everybody is talking about it, how we do change in the 2021. Of course, on part of the learning culture, because 2000 COVID taught us how would you motivate people to do learning? I think which was a push factor. Now it's been a pull factor. So I think this is a very, and along with that, I think we also spoke about how attraction of talent and retention of talent will change in 2021 because it's not the same anymore. Because people are able to attend interviews, not going to office. That's the way I think attracting talent has changed, and retaining talent also has become difficult because you need to come up with innovative approach of retaining your talent. So I think this is a couple of interesting conversation what we had, and I think we have good participation too. Thank you.
Thanks, Nitin. So Nitin, for Bangalore, so that's our IT capital, Nitin. So we had a good panel, and panel was very enthusiastic and very aggressive. Great. Thanks, Nitin. And Nitin is also very close to HR Shaper. He's coordinating to large extent over Bangalore. Good. On my screen, I can see Kanu. Kanu is from Indore. Over to you, Kanu.
Thank you so much, Ash. And hello, everyone. So this is Kanu Priya. I am the Vice President People from Infobeans. So representing the center part of India, we had quite a diverse panel coming from IT, media, logistics on our discussion board. And the top 3 priorities that we looked out were predominantly focusing on employee experience. We all have been talking about it, but we've been debating whether we used to probably people focusing on work-life balance and generating the warmth within the organization. But now, especially dealing with the gig economy, we need to concentrate on how do we make the work-life integration a little more balanced and effective for the people. Because this work from home, so COVID has pretty much existed very well in the IT space already, but work from home has actually made it the new normal, right? Now we are going to face a real big time inertia when we actually need to ask people to come back, right? So that is where the work-life integration is where we have been looking at. There are already talks here where probably we define like 40% of the workforce would pretty much end up doing work from home only. So that is something and a trend we talked about. Second important area where our group focused was on the continuous learning and development. So moving from a job based to a real skill based and ensuring that everyone grows out to the next level, the new competency. So like Ashish was talking about the LMS and those interprints, but probably enabling the online model and taking it to the next line from focusing on learning and development was the second priority that we discussed. And third was acing with the analytics. So moving on to a cloud-based HR predominantly, there have been a lot of CFOs and coming in and asking about, oh, is the productivity hampered? Or are you losing on the P team members' morale? But balancing that out, probably HR is going to be engaged into more real people side of it and have the analytics drive the numbers and the crunching behind it. So really looking forward for a 2021 where HR is in the driving seat. So thank you, Ashish.
I picked up one thing from your talk is about the HR analytics, and that's where the obviously focus will go, because HR people are saying, okay, people say ki, okay, HR very weak in data, HR very weak in finance, HR very weak. Yeah, I don't know how far it is true. Okay, so as for the screen, thanks Kanu, and that was Kanu from Indore. She represented MP. In short, MP means Madhya Pradesh HR Shaper. Yeah, very close to HR Shaper Kanu, and then I go to, as for my screen, Rupali. So Rupali, thank you. So guys, there were one model was moderator, second model was the anchor. Okay. So there are some of the anchor who are part of it and they played very important role. They were the savior for me actually in some of the locations. Yeah. Okay. In addition to moderator. So I go to Rupali here now.
Yeah. So firstly, thanks, Ashish. You've always been creative. At the right time, you know what topic to pick and what to leverage. So hi all, myself Rupali Mahadik, often known as RUPS. I head India HR. I'm working for QAT. It's a product company we have headquarters in California, and I was on the panel of Zimbabwe, and Dr. Phil. He was brilliant in getting all the speakers together. I remember the name of the speakers. It was Patience, it was Jarlington, it was Autry, and it was Kuda. Kuda was also there. So brilliant insights were shared, and I know that I want to keep my speech short. So the top three things is the emerging role of CHRO during the pandemic times is what they spoke about. They spoke about the cost effectiveness during this pandemic times, and they also spoke about how do we leverage engagement. When we speak about engagement, it's employee engagement, it's management engagement, it's culture engagement within the organizations. So this is a short summary. I think more will come in the second part, right, Ashish? So over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rupali. Okay, so let me continue to be in Zimbabwe. So, Doctor, if you are there, Dr. Philemon, very close friend. I met him last year in Mumbai. Dr. Philemon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you.
How are you?
So far, so good. We're trying to survive, and we're being bombarded left, right, and center by this coronavirus. And yeah, from the look of things, I think there is an increasing number of cases as well as deaths. But we are trying to manage the situation.
Okay, great. So Dr. Rupali did share some of the takeaway, and so Doctor was the instrumental getting this session moderated very well, getting the speaker, and he's very well-known HR leader in the fraternity of the Zimbabwe and in the African region. Okay, if you get up and say, okay, I know Dr. Philemon in Zimbabwe, they will say, wow. And there is a very famous HR body in the Zimbabwe, Doctor, if I'm not wrong, the name is IIPM, right?
Institute of People Management of Zimbabwe, IPMZ.
IPMZ, right.
Yes.
He's very active member over there. He does a lot of session. He is very active in the fraternity. So, Doctor, briefly, how was the session? What's your takeaway? Very brief.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing another session again. From the look of things, the session that we went through was very great. It was a good session, and we enjoyed the topic as we were looking at 2021 HR vision. So one key area that came out very strongly, which I think will cut across the entire world, is the working from home. It's a new phenomenon, and we have to make sure that we plan as much as is practically possible so that even working from home is very enjoyable. Then the other issue is basically to deal with the COVID-19. We are all in second phase, and this is something which is also very key. There's a lot of frustration, anxiety, and in some situations, there is even hatred because of this new virus. And the way we then try to manage that situation defines the survival of the organization and also the safety of employees. So there will be a battle for sustainability of organizations and also the safety of employees. Is going to define the 2021 because we don't know when this virus will go back. Then the other issue is value creation. Even if we are going through thick and thin, it is very fundamental that we create value for our organization, we create value for the employees, we create value for stakeholders, create value for the customers. Is also something that is going to be very key. Then we talked about the issue of change management. We are all disrupted. We are operating in a VUCA world, and it's very important that we communicate the change to the rest of the employees. And now, given this situation where some employees will be physically working at a workplace and others will be working from home, building a solid team is then very key. And what we then do around those issues defines the success of the organization and also the unit of the employees, despite the fact that they will be operating from a different angle. Then the issue of leadership development, it came out very strongly. It's one of the issues which is also very key. You need to continuously build strategic readiness around your people. You need to have people who are ready to move in any position given the opportunity. So looking at our situations, we looked at maybe issues to do with the apprentices training, the issues around the graduate development, supervisory development, management development, and you also look at the issues of executive development as well as leadership coaching. These issues are fundamental and they will define the general direction of organization. And lastly, the issue of HR digital technology. Given that most of the people are working from home, it's almost like creating a paperless organization. And therefore, the way you keep the information, the way you then handle HR metrics and analytics is also going to be very key for both yourself and the organization. So in a nutshell, these were some of the issues that we thought the HR practitioner should actually brace for 2021. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Doctor. So yeah, many of them obviously will come as a common because HR is also there in every country for people. Thanks, Dr. Philomen. Thanks, Rupali, to hold the fort for Zimbabwe. Good. I will come back to you guys. Yeah, please be there.
Yep.
Let me go to now, as per my screen, I can see Shrikant. Shrikant, over to you.
Hi, this is Shrikant. Thanks, Ashish. I was the anchor for the Dubai Shapers. He pitched in at the last moment. Thank you for that. So my name is Shrikant. I'm heading the corporate HR for John Cockerell India, which is a 200 years old organization in the history. So as part of the Dubai Shapers, Nisha Verma was there, the head of HR for Apparel Group, Mohammad Hafiz from Clarient, Anil Peter of Tinotri Corporation, and Shalu Shoni from Batil International. And moderator was Dr. Zakir Malik. I don't think he is here today, but it was a great experience. I was anchoring that for the start of the program. But basically the topic discussed was how the remote working and learning about how diversity, equity and inclusion. Because here in this panel, 2 are women panels and 2 are male panelists. Then again, learning in the workflow, which is very important. Learning in the flow of work in today's virtual environment. And also talks about the wellness and mental wellness and safety aspects for employees, what is employees expecting from the organization, which is also very key. So these are the short scripts, Ashish, I want to talk about. But I also jumped in with other once it was completed. I joined Ashish in the other part also on the same day. It was a wonderful experience. Just want to share about this HR 2021, what Gartner has say, building critical skills and competencies, which is very key for an HR profession, number one. Number two, what rightly the other person said, change management. This is also one of the key part which is Gartner has said for 2021 for HR professionals. Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you, Shrikant. So Shrikant was, yes, beautiful city of Middle East, which is Dubai.
Yes.
Wish we could have Dr. Zakir was the moderator, also part of this. But anyway, great. So I will be in Middle East. I go to, okay, I was seeing that we had a Kaleem who was actually moderating. Did he log out? Okay, I believe he's logged out. Okay, so let me go to African region back to African or Yazis, I hand over to our Nigeria moderator. Benedicta, can you hear us?
Hey, Ashish.
Hey.
I'm having a bit of network problems. I will try and make this as quick. So hello, everyone. So great to be with you today. And I hope we're all keeping safe. If I look at the priorities for the HR team, beyond the usuals that we have, we would know everyone has pretty much covered a lot of things that are very similar to what we're trying to chase this year. But I'll just point out three key things. Chief of them is well-being. Okay, we can't emphasize the need for well-being in the organization. And therefore, as HR people, we should start to consider the actions, the policies, the mandates on three very key levels: individual, team, and organizational levels. How we're going to roll that out for the organization and ensure that we reinforce, well-being within the organization as people make the transition through this new way of working and living. We also, as HR people, want to ensure that we are structured internally to deliver value to the organization. As HR now, I'm not talking about the organizational structure or reorganization, HR's structure to deliver value. We see a lot of research coming out of Accenture and Deloitte recently talking about a fancy phrase called talent architect, but that's the future today. We no longer have HR business partners in most organizations. We're moving towards what we now call the talent architect. So how are we structured internally as HR to deliver value? We need to start to look at center of expertise closely, look at the service delivery models for HR, as well as the business support angle of delivering value. Last but not least, I think someone mentioned this, is really focusing on delivering top-notch customer experience, okay? We're no longer gonna just dole out the instructions, dole out the things we call value, but we're taking a very customer-centric approach this year and beyond, because that's what will keep us afloat. Most customers have their needs being evolved as we go through the COVID pandemic, as organizations are changing. Therefore, HR needs to take a different approach to delivering value. I'll just leave it at that, Ashish, and thanks for having me.
Thanks, Benedicta. And so that was Benedicta from Nigeria. And, they had a good session, good panelists. In fact, after the session, they were very keen to do a lot of networking. And as we remember that, platform had a networking zone. So they distributed in, 3-4 networking zone. I remember Benedicta was assigning, go here, go there. Right, Benedicta? Yeah.
Yes.
And believe me, I found Nigeria is a Lagos because most of the members from Lagos, very progressive HR, and people really like to learn, people really like to contribute, they really like to grow. Many HR things is happening and taking place. So I'm really proud, because I can see a lot of interaction on the group as well. Okay, so that was Benedicta from Nigeria. I will still be in Africa region, and one of the savior for African HR shaper was Manish. And Manish, you introduce yourself. You are in which location?
Yeah. Okay. So good evening, Ashish, and good evening to everyone. So currently I'm in Pune, but I was moderating the location of Kenya, that is to remotely during the coronavirus time. And currently I'm working with Eaton Corporation, and I manage the hiring of the global business services, primarily supporting the supply chain, financial services, as well as sales and marketing for all the Eaton Global GBS Center here in Pune. So we had a very good panel team over here, like when we had this Kenya HR Shaper meet. So we had panelists called Thuvi from the Jumia Group. We have Jackie from SBM Bank. We have Bernard from KPMG, as well as we have Richard from Simba Telecom. So we all touched upon various points of HR, primarily those tasks that been impacted by the COVID scenario. And we also discussed primarily on the hiring part, because that is very close to my heart. So we discussed mostly on the hiring part, that how the hiring get impacted during the COVID time, and how the company are adapted the virtual hiring process, whether the companies were able to take the right decision considering there was no face-to-face interaction. So whether the companies were able to take the right decision doing all the rounds through virtual. So this was a point of discussion, and also there were also the various experts with regard to pay cuts, as well as how the employees been addressed, and for the pay cuts and everything. And like overall, it was a healthy discussion. So the primary topic that we discussed on the technology, whether it was an enabler for all the companies. So those companies which have not adapted technology, so they were struggling a lot during the COVID time. So they were just running around in buying any such kind of technology which can help us to run their business. But that was the conclusion that technology will be a savior in the future during such kind of pandemic. Thanks, Ashish. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, Manish, so that was so quick. And I remember, Manish, there were a lot of technology issues when you were part of the Kenya. And moderator of the Kenya was Richard. And Richard was facing a lot of problem because, this message was given to all that don't join from mobile. Those who joined from mobile, actually, they were facing a lot of issues. And he didn't have any option just to join from mobile.
I agree.
Thanks, Richard, and thanks, Manish. Okay, I think we are done with the first round here. Okay, we still have one more person. Let me call him Mr. Arpit, the city of the orange. You are on mute, Arpit.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arpit. I'm working with the Lupin Limited, and here we had a 5 participant, like 5 speaker from a variant different companies. Like we got a speaker from Dassault Reliance, then Persistent, then we had from Accenture, and then NCR, National Cancer Institute, and then Solar Group. So it was a very healthy discussion we had that time. But we faced little system glitch because we all have been logged in office hours, and we were in office, and we are not allowed in having our computer is not having that lot of system issues were there, and hence we had logged in through mobile, and then we somehow managed handling that. With me, Manish was there, who was moderating entire program, and the main discussion of we had on the priorities of 2021, and in that how exactly HR can take up into this, and in 2021 how priorities can be discussed on that. We all have been discussed in this. Further, HR has to take care of like business. It has to be considered of business priority. It has to be totally aligned. That was the more focused we had into the entire discussion. Thank you, Ashish. Hello, Ashish, your voice is not coming. Hello.
Arpit was co-moderating the session along with Madhuri. Madhuri is not there. Okay, if I'm not wrong, I have Pooja join. Hey, yeah, so that is Pooja. Pooja, please introduce yourself. So introduce yourself and give some brief takeaway of the session.
Absolutely. Hi, good evening, all. It's evening in India, and I was the moderator for Ahmedabad session. I am Pooja, and I work with Havmoor Ice Creams Private Limited. It's a Lotte Group company. It's a South Korean organization, and I got a fortunate opportunity to moderate the Ahmedabad HR Shapers session here. For us, one of the highlights of the guest was Dr. T.V. Rao joined, along with leading panelists from IT and FMCG sector. The key highlights of our session was around ensuring employee experience and also managing productivity. So in terms of employee experience, because work from home was taking a front seat towards the way we operate, how to ensure employee experience of the connect with the organization is maintained, and productivity through multi-skilling initiatives. So because multiple functions were, restructured during this time, so how closely the functions were conjuncted, and how multi-skilling were in terms of capability development was helping these functions streamline the entire value chain of business. So HR came into picture to understand the restructuring roles, making the business more tightly coupled, having operational costs managed without any, hazardous measures to employees, and ensuring employee trust in the system was maintained despite of working at the home through various communication platforms. These were two major highlights when we, conducted this session. Dr. TV Rao was specifically insisting on ensuring that organizations manage, employee health and wellness benefits around during the session also. Yeah, these were the key highlights, and was a brilliant interaction of the CXOs in the region. Thank you, Ashish.
Hey, thanks, Pooja. So yes, wellness and experience. These are any highlight of 2020 and will continue to be. But it's always debatable, and I disagree to agree, or you can call it I agree to disagree. Because see, when employee used to be there in the office, we never care about them. When employee working remotely and virtually, suddenly we say, we want to meet you, we want to see your face. When he was sitting next to you, we didn't care. That is one way to look into. And is this not the time we were looking for, when you are in touch with employee family more than the employee? Correct?
Yeah, sure. In fact, one of the panelists also mentioned, Ashish, that while in organization there were a lot of talent, potential assessment activities. So while we understand that engagement is just about fun, no, that was not the idea. The idea was ensuring that engagement to the job. Are people still enjoying the job the way they would enjoy in office? Ensuring that the talent is able to make the most of the way they were operating in office vis-a-vis home. So benefits were extended to employees over and above in that way, so that they could, have their comfort. But yeah, with different organizations, different viewpoints come, and I have, I do understand the perspective that you're sharing, and well taken, definitely.
Yeah. And today I'm sure most of HRBPs, perhaps CHRO, HR and manager, they know today employee family more than the employee. Yeah. I have seen introduction, the morning session, most of the time actually family member coming on the screen just for 2 to 5 minutes, then rest of the thing take place. Great. So, yeah, that's one thing which is kind of discovery for all of us. Great. I have lost as per my screen, I hand over to Manu, who is representing Provantis HR and RK moderated Mumbai session. And Manu and team and RK and team, we all know that HR Shaper working with Provantis HR since last almost close to 3 quarters, and conducted a lot of webinar with them. Manu, over to you.
Thank you, Ashish. Thanks very much. Well, I was actually, strangely in a part of the Delhi session, right, as a speaker, but I was also very closely associated with the Mumbai session, where we had a great panel of speakers. We had Rajat from Morgan Stanley, we had Ritu from TCS, we had Biplab Banerjee from ADB, and I think some of the things that came out very clearly as a key priorities from that session were around these 3 or 4 topics that I will just tell you about. One very strong topic, and then this also kind of came out in the World Economic Forum, key skills report, right? Skills and capabilities that are going to be critical over the next few years, at least till 2025, was around critical thinking, problem solving, and of course, how do you build more resilience, right? In all the workforce across the world. But one of the very unique terms that we actually came across for that was, how do you build an anti-fragile personality? How do you build an anti-fragile system, right? When we talk of resilience, we are mostly talking about rising after being hit by something strong, correct? So you've been hit, you go under, then you come back up. But then how do you build capabilities where you're actually able to come out much stronger and succeed after going through a tough experience like 2020 that all of us did, right? So that tenacity is going to be very, very critical, that organizations would really need to look for. And we had some of the moderators talk about, the remote workplace, right? So the hybrid office space, that's going to become very crucial, right? At least for the near term. I'm not sure. I can't predict what's going to happen, the next 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. But that is definitely here to stay, right? And I think organizations are, to a great extent, being able to relate to the benefits, right, of having a hybrid office, both from an organization point of view and an employee point of view. But that also comes and brings us to another challenge of how do you manage the risk of detachment, right? So hybrid offices on one front, right? Companies are going to be saving a lot of money, not paying rents to real estate giants. Employees are going to be comfortable building an office in their comfort space, right? But then the risk of detachment and how do organizations manage that is something that's going to come up as a key challenges for most of the CHROs. And also business heads. I should not limit this challenge to the HR fraternity. I think it's going to be a bigger challenge for the business community. And this would also, in a way, make the role of people leaders very, very critical, right? We spoke about detachment. That's on one hand, that what we have to manage. And people leaders will not have a direct line of sight to their workforce, right? So how does a people manager manage the workforce much better? How do you delegate more, right? Will there really be a need for every people leader to become a coach so that my team members can work more effectively without me, right? And that's an ongoing debate still, right? As a manager, I just may not have what it takes to become a coach, right? That's a possibility. So organizations will also have to then look at, should we force managers to become coaches from a distance? Because you will be managing the day-to-day deliveries, right, from everywhere. But how do you then balance it out by letting the managers, facilitate, the other behaviors at the workplace itself? And of course, I think one other critical dimension that came up was, and this came up in the Delhi piece as well, how do we build adjacent capabilities, right? How do we get prepared for the unthinkable, right? How do we do we remain a specialist, or do we become more broad-based from an employee point of view, right? And some companies have done it very successfully in the past, right? We used to call it cross-training, right? For example, if somebody is a specialist in talent acquisition, do we build that person, to be able to take up talent management, talent development kind of roles? Talking about HR, talking about IT, if somebody is specializing only into, middleware or consulting, then do we get those people also to, be cross-trained into other domains within the consulting space? So these are some of the key, points, and I think these are very real issues, given the fact that we heard them from industry leaders, right? The likes of Deloitte, Morgan Stanley, TCS, so on and so forth. But I think a very thought-provoking agenda, as you had set up, Ashish, for all of us to look at going forward. Yep.
Yeah, thanks Manu, and thanks Manu coming on the behalf of RK. And yes, Mumbai had a very good speaker. They were from very good companies. Thanks both of you to get them actually. And,
always a pleasure.
Yeah, yes.
All of us need to learn together, and I think learning never stops, right? That's one thing that we've learned, that never stop learning.
And happy to share that overall we had a 150 speaker, 150. Yeah, that was big number actually. And they just joined within 60 minutes. We had a 150 speaker sharing the views and all. And today we have almost close to 20-25 speaker who are moderator. We have Kaleem joined. So Kaleem was in Saudi Arabia. Kaleem, over to you.
Just give me 5 minutes. I'll speak. Okay. Just give me 5 minutes.
Fine. Great. So yes, by the time Kalim come, yeah, Nitin, you are saying something?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to put it across one point of view. If you look at it, US, they've already started a different salary structure for people based on the where you live, because our salary structures are defined based on the cost of living and affordability of the company. But I don't see, I think a lot of debates are not happening in India about, I think people are more back to their hometown or villages. How we are going to structure a salary for the future when it comes to hybrid model? I have not heard, I think, a lot many articles coming in from the all the comp experts or anything. I do not know. I think, what does this panel think about it? I know, I think I have my own view, but I think I want to just hear from other people.
Nitin, you touch very sensitive topic, salary. We all know what's happening with the salary. Unless you are in an industry which is booming, otherwise all of us, we know salary either increment not happening, or perhaps, people not getting variable pay the way they used to get it. Only good thing, I tell you, I don't know who's getting this kind of ideas. Let's give a promotion as much as we can give. See, we all know people are working. At least we can encourage this way, that yes, you guys, you are working, we are helping you in this way. Okay, so by the time Kalim come, I brought one special guest without her permission. That's Isabel. Isabel, if you can hear me, we like to hear your views, and please let us know you are joining from where, though I know you are from where.
Okay, hi Ashish sir. So I'm a bit surprised because, okay, I tried to make it short, and I will be very short because unfortunately I was able to join only 5 minutes before. So I missed, I would say, the whole session. So I'm Isabel, I'm based out of Paris in France, and I am working for Capgemini, the headquarters, and I know Ashish, because we have been working together during 2 years when I was based out of Bangalore. So, and I would say, Ashish, myself, each time I can join HR Shapers, I do it because for me, it helps me to breathe, to understand more things, to challenge my views. And I would say each time to, to gain some insights. And you know me, Ashish, so I'm always very keen, to challenge everyone. So I would say I'm very, very happy now I'm back in France since 10 months to be part of HR Shapers and to be able to listen and to feed myself in these periods where, of course, all the games are being changed, even if the big games is still the same, unfortunately for us.
Yeah. Thanks, Isabel. So Isabel is my mentor and coach, I can say, close friend as well. Yeah. Thanks, Isabel.
You should not be teasing me in front of such many people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Isabel. Please be there. Yes, so we got Kalim back. Kalim, if you can hear me, please come back. Yes, you are there. Over to you.
Yes, I can hear you, Ashish. Hope you, your team, and all from HR Shapers are doing great. 2021, let's rock. We know 2020 was a bit not good year, but we are expecting 2021 to be good. Before I could say anything, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate your efforts to bringing all HR professional on one platform, sharing their views and experience. It's in this pandemic, everyone was caring about our own self, but you are one among the one who cared about the whole community. So really hats off to you and to your team. It was not an easy task to bringing all these people together. So hats off and a good job and a great job. And I wish, pray and request you to keep this continuing at least once a month so that we can all come and know what's happening, the latest trends in HR. Now, coming back to Saudi Arabia, and especially I was a moderator for that session. Mr. Roy was there, Wadahat was there, Abdullah was there, and Mirza was a bit offline, and I took some points from him. So basically, I would just say 2 points of what we have been discussed. I know the time is very short, so I'll make it short and sweet. The 2 basic points which a CHRO will face in the in 2021. First one is the problem with the performance appraisals. I know 2020 work from home and managing team was different, and job responsibility was changed, and a lot of things happened. So what these panelists were telling was performance appraisal in 2021. Now, as just now someone was saying that about the salary bonuses, we don't expect bonuses this year. At least we should pray that we should have a normal increment that would do. So basically, performance appraisal was one of the tasks which the CHRO will face. The second one is in regards to training and development. Of course, I am from that field, so I would say because training need analysis and the gap finding, it's been tough now, because we haven't faced this sort of situation before, and we don't know how to manage the things like the problems which people are facing. What are the new skills which has to be acquired, and obviously people are more cautious towards their health and all. So the gap finding is a bit tough in 2021. So that 2022 will have a good training sessions, but in 2021 TNA is a bit challenging. And last but not the least, the role of IT and the synchronizing with HR has increased tremendously. Someone was saying on HR analytics and all in the beginning of the session. I was listening. So of course, yes, HR analytics and dealing with IT is been a major implementing which is going to happen in 2021. That's all I would say. Hello, am I audible? Am I live? Ashish, are you there?
Yes, you're audible.
All right. I think Ashish went for a tea break. In the meantime, I'll take the moderator seat while he's not here. I know Pooja. Is there anyone who would like to share their views or any questions regarding how things are happening in Saudi Arabia? And I'm from KSA. Or anybody would like to share their views, and anyone who hasn't shared till now?
I think we all shared our views, and we were going to phase 2, right? Shrikant and Dolphy can support over here, right? Till Ashish joins back.
Yeah, very good. Ashish joined already.
I think he's joined.
I think last year, it was not last year, I don't know whether it was last year to last year, he had a group meeting, right? The physical meeting in Pune, I believe. I'm not sure. I wasn't there, but anybody?
See, generally, the way this was happening, the finale of HR Shaper, 20 location, same date, same time, same topic, that used to happen physical meeting as well. Yeah.
You're planning to have that one, huh? Very
nice.
We did it actually. I'm looking forward to that.
We did it even. We did it. Future of work was the one topic where I covered in almost 5 locations, same date, one date. And our breakfast meet is the same model where all the location meet on the one date, one timing. There's a breakfast meet in the different location.
Very good. Very nice.
So it just happened virtually. And thanks for moderating Saudi Arabia session.
My pleasure.
I was looking at Dr. Jakir. One sec. He's not there, I believe. Dr. Jakir, are you there? No, he's not there. Anyway, okay, so we come back to second part, and it's a quickly rapid fire kind of question I will ask. Yeah. Who's your
hang on, will we get
role model?
a gift hamper for this? Do we get a gift hamper for this?
Pardon?
Do we get a gift hamper for this?
Let me see what best I can do, Kalim, when I'm going to be in Saudi Arabia. We'll take you for a dinner. Or you come to Mumbai, most welcome. Join us anytime.
Surely. Let the flights open. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so rapid fire, who's your role model other than your family member and your boss? Okay, why I'm including boss? Because if you include your boss as a role model, that may be genuine. And if you don't include, and if your boss is hearing this conversation, boss will say, why you didn't take my name? So who's your HR role model other than your family member and your boss? That's one question. Link link to another question, that whom do you follow in social media circle? You know, who's kind of inspiring you? That person post, that person videos, you try to see, you try to join the webinar of that person. Anybody can start and just give. No, don't take my name, please. Isabel.
Now you're making it difficult. We can't take your name.
Yeah. So again, let me repeat. Who's your HR role model other than your family member, your boss, and Ashish Gakre? Okay. Dolphy, let me start with you.
I am for me myself is a role model for HR. Because see why I am telling you is I was a non-HR profession during my start of my career. I was not aware what is HR. So in the mid of 2005, I took a do or die situation to move into HR function. So so that is where.
Brother Ashish, just one small request. There is an option in Zoom where you can put as spotlight. So whoever is speaking, he can come on a spotlight so we can know who is talking.
Okay, let me see.
If you go on the settings, there is an option called spotlight. If that is on, so whoever is speaking, he
asks to start video. But
you
anyway,
can
so
either pin or spotlight,
that was
Ashish. Either pin.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me hand over to Dolphy now.
So my LinkedIn, this favorite webinar was Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. Every day or two, I used to attend the webinar on LinkedIn.
Okay. Thanks, Shrikant. Dolphy, over to you.
Quickly to say, I agree with Shrikant. I don't have any role models. If you see my WhatsApp, I believe in myself. So whatever I have done today, it's all self-done. And of course, I take cue from everybody. I do follow a lot of people on social media. And of course, I think Pooja rightly said, TV Rao has been my guru from since the time I started HR, and he has taught us so many things. So I still hats off to him. Rest all, everything goes as normal, Ashish. Over to you.
I go to Vayu now.
Okay. HR role model, actually, it's very classic still for the theory and everything. Actually, Dave Ulrich is still my best role model, I would say, to have a reference. Like, I always still a fan and a believer of the four quadrant of Dave Ulrich. Now it's just actually how good we are actually moving from the administrative expert. We are all done, but we need to go to the strategic partner and the change agent and consultant role to really help the organization, enabling the organization to achieve whatever the business goal that the organization would like to achieve toward, and even like achieve the visions at the end. And not HR, but probably actually in terms of I would say consultant, maybe because I was involved so much with McKinsey. So I like McKinsey. It's extending further from the HR theory of Dave Ulrich. McKinsey is actually my reference to what do you call this? To have an experience, frameworks, knowledge, exposure from McKinsey consultant to translate the HR strategy, operation strategy, and anything into impact, into hands-on practical impact to the operational. So actually, again, McKinsey is actually my fans, so that's I'm still following the McKinsey McKinsey what do you call this, like newsletter and everything, having an update. So that's it from me. Yeah. Thank you, Aziz and all.
Thank you, Vayu. Rupali?
Yeah, even I have similar answers. I do not have a role model now, but when I started my career, Dr. Narkani, who was uh, in HR, he was a VP HR. He used to be my role model because he used to come and greet each and every employee with a handshake. But now, since there is so much of transformation in HR and so many things in HR have changed, so there is no real role model. It's more of how we change, how we transform as HR business leaders is really essential. Again, social media, I follow many people. Of lately, I've been seeing Jai Shetty on FB, wherein he speaks about mindfulness and presence, and it's related to our culture within the organization, QAD culture. We speak presence, influencing cultures because we are in 40 countries. So I like to look at his videos. Thank you, Ashish.
Okay, I'll go to Pooja now.
So, in terms of HR role model, I think I'm more of a bookie. So I keep reading, a lot of books. My favorite book is What Your CEO Wants You to Know. It's written by Dr. Ramcharan. He is a global HR leader, and I think one of the best thing that he kept preaching was to go into the workplace field and see what exactly is happening instead of devising HR theories, which are that we feel. So a lot more business centric HR practices is something that I have been inspired by my CEOs also who guide us. In terms of social media, actually no particular social media person who is very holistic, but I think Sadhguru, like Rupali was sometime what it is somehow that you have to keep your own peace of mind at heart, head and heart balance, because you are in a profession where you have to balance both. That just comes from that. So I do feel inspired to keep watching him somewhere, but not really a follower too much. And thank you. I think one part of an HR is to be a good networker, to keep learning from other people, because everybody inspires you to do something really nice, including a person like you who can organize such a large scale networking intervention in such countries. Not just flattery, but genuinely saying that cross cultural networking opportunities make you learn. So in person, thank you for such opportunities for all the HR professionals who are trying to learn more from each other and get inspired also. Thank you.
That's nice to hear. I go to Nitin now.
Hey, I also don't have any role models as an HR. I think my role model is Rahul Dravid always for the personality what he is. But I think I do follow a lot of HR professionals on social media, especially TV Rab. I follow Abhijit Bandori. I follow a lot of those, I think, senior professionals because they bring in a lot of those perspectives. They have their own consultancies running, I think, a beautiful thought process. From that perspective, I do follow a lot of them, including you, Ashish. Thank you.
Thank you. I go to Kalim now.
Well, I will go with the trend as well. I don't follow anyone as role model as such, but however, on and off, as someone said that McKinsey, I do follow their newsletters and then the latest trends which is happening in HR. And in social media, I would say John Maxwell and Robin Sharma are the two leaders whom I follow, and I look forward to their webinars because they're basically about human potential, how we can develop as a human being and as a leader. So these are the two people whom I follow in social media. And HR, I go with the flow. Basically, whatever the latest trends which is happening, any newsletter or anything that comes, I'll take it. I don't blindly follow anyone on HR.
That's a different way to say, okay, role model can be people matter, role model can be HR Katha, role model can be any HR magazine even. They can be your role model, not necessarily people. Thanks, Kalim.
Basically, what I think is that, okay, people, those who are in India, they have a different culture and they have to follow the local trends. And people in Saudi, they have a different trend. We have to follow some localization. We have to follow some local trends. Our working hours are different. Our working shifts are different. Culture is different. So lot of things that is happening in America, I cannot put in Saudi Arabia. Things that is happening in India, I cannot put in Saudi Arabia. So it is absolutely, I have to pick and choose whatever things which is the latest trend which is happening and the latest trend which I can implement in our company and our culture. That is why I don't have any role model. I just pick. I'm very choosy, I would say.
Yeah. Thanks, Kalim. Okay, so we are already 5:30, but I will take another 5 minutes. Please be there. I have two more guests I want them to say. So Manu, over to you. If Manu is able to hear, otherwise I will go to Dr. Philemon. Okay, Dr. Philemon is also not able to hear. Okay, so here is the guy who is joining, and this was the guy who made it happen. Alok Shastri is from Pune HR Shepherd team. Alok is also part of the Super Pro team. And Alok is the person who brought us together on the technology which we use in Finale of HR Shaper. Alok, if you are able to hear me, please say a few words.
Well, Ashish, I mean, I have been, because since, we all are talking about role models, I'll be honest, you are the person who have been following, and this is not an exaggeration. I have been following you for last a year or so, and I look as a mentor, look up to you as a mentor always. So working with you was a pleasure that I will it will stay with me for a long time. And of course, I have also interacted with so many HRs through this platform, and through you, that networking, of course, has been at its best. So just to conclude, without taking too much time, I think it's a great event, Ashish, and thank you to all of you who have been associated with this, and really proud to be a part of it. So, yeah, that's all.
So Alok, very brief, make it very brief. Just tell us about your Super Pro platform. What other your platform does it other than the normal webinar which took place?
Right. So real quick, I think if superpro.ai is building an all-in-one video communication services for powering business workflows to help companies grow in the changed world, right? So we bring the future of workflows to power the future of work, if I have to sum it in one sentence.
Okay.
So that's
great.
what Superpro does.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Alok. Thanks, and thanks for being a part of this. That was really wonderful platform, because at a time covering 20 countries on the same platform, giving support, it happened because of you and your team. Okay, I will just go to each one. Just ask one question now. This is the last question. We'll wind up then. What is the one thing in the HR you can put it as a priorities for 2021? Only one. Okay. Don't make it as a statement, but if it is, you say the recruitment, just say the recruitment. If it is talent management, just say talent management.
For me is people.
Only one word.
For me is people.
No, people is very generic word. Shrikant, you need to be very specific within the people what you want to do.
Training and development.
Training and development. Thanks, Kalim. Okay, anybody?
Building competencies.
Yes.
Building competency.
Employee experience.
I think critical talents.
Employee experience. Talent. Sorry, Dolphy, what did you say?
Critical talents.
So it's kind of, retention, right?
Yes.
Correct. Yes. Okay. Dr. Philemon was raising a hand. Dr. Philemon, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay. Change management for me.
Change management, great, because we have experienced the real change management. The VUCA world was there for 1 year. It's still going to be there for a few more years. Okay, Vayu, what is the one word?
Culture and high impact learning.
Culture and learning. Okay, Pooja.
No, culture and high impact learning. Learning that translate into business results.
Employee well-being.
Okay. Employee well-being. That's the second one is coming. Okay. Okay. Then who was there on the screen? Okay. I think we covered everybody. Okay, Pooja. Pooja, did I miss you?
No, that's okay. It resonates back saying talent brick walling, very important. Market is opening, you need to ensure your talent really retains with you.
Okay. Okay. So Isabel is typing rather than Isabel, you can say, but you are putting three things together. Pick up only one and say.
Okay.
Okay, Isabel, in case you are hear me, please say only one word in HR 2021
Yes.
you want to.
In the correct context, I think that emotional intelligence is absolutely key.
Okay, make human out of human, make more human out of more human. We are going to be robotics. No, we are not. Okay, digitalization taking place. We are losing human touch. So there are a lot of takeaway. Thanks, guys, and thanks for being part of such a historical event. As I said, that was only the pilot for me. Okay, the big show is supposed to happen. Please be ready. I'm looking forward to all of your contribution and support. And we look forward to see you on various platforms, social media and all. And we had a good participation today, close to 50 and 75 people joined. This is the webinar platform, so they can't see each other, but I'm just sharing the number. I'm just summarizing up that 20 locations were covered. There were 150 speakers, 1,000 delegates joined. The date was 22nd December 2020. Topic was HR Vision 2021 agenda. And 20 location, I like to take again name of the locations, which is very important for me. The international location was Nigeria, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Sri Lanka, then Indonesia and Singapore. India location was Mumbai, Delhi, then Pune, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Nagpur, MP, and Baroda. So these were the location. If I missed any location, I'm really sorry. But yes, you are part of it anyway. Don't worry. If I don't say, you are still part of it. Okay, so thanks for all your support.
Ashish, I think post-COVID era, I think we want the physical sessions still happening because I still miss those physical sessions because the kind of networking what we do when we have a session together, I think it doesn't happen in virtual sessions through webinars. Through all platforms can do it, but I think it doesn't happen in reality.
No, in some of the location, physical event started happening. Dr. Philomen is there from the African continent. There are a lot of events started happening in Africa. A lot of events started happening in Southeast Asia. Started happening in Middle East as well. India is little far behind. Government norms is still there because you can't have gathering of 100 people. With some norms maybe, but I think it's not very open up. Some of the event it's happening in the hotel I have seen. Yeah, we are really missing a lot. Yeah, but yes, COVID also brought us together. Great. So take care, guys. Be safe, and
thank you.
Let's be connected.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Ashish. Bye.
Thank you, Ashish.
Thank you. Thanks, Priya. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I also did the recording. Okay.
Okay.
But so I think once I log out, then it will be.
Yes.
It will give me the message of saving.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Anyway, you also did it the same, correct?
I have not recorded it. I have just make it live on YouTube, so I can just take the recording from YouTube itself.
Okay, okay, fine. And fine. So I'm just logging up now. Thank you, Priya, and
Okay,
your
bye
team
bye.
for